mean, Alma Juniku is already a two-time world champion. But tonight she has the chance to get the big one. The chance to make history.
Perfect records don't last forever. Champions fall, hype trains derail, and every undefeated fighter eventually meets someone who possesses the exact combination of skills, mentality, and hunger to expose what everyone else missed. For Dakota Ditcheva, that someone might be Alma Juniku.
I was 8 years old and my brother started it off first, and then my brother said he really enjoyed it, and then we all tagged along, and ever since then fell in love with the sport. My dad was pretty disappointed. He was pretty heartbroken that all of us quit. He was hoping that I would make a career out of soccer. As I grew older and got a lot of success, he understood and then was very happy for my successes.
Alma Juniku, on the other hand, needs to come out and be smart. I think she needs to be a little bit patient in this, and I think she needs to wear down the legs of fairtex. She needs to utilize those lower body kicks and her push kicks to stop the aggressive forward motion down there.
They call her the hottest fighter in women's MMA, and the label applies to more than just her appearance. At 18 years old, Alma Juniku is already a two-time world champion whose striking pedigree rivals anyone in combat sports. She's put opponents to sleep in 10 seconds. She's competed against legends on the biggest stages in Asian MMA. And most importantly, she carries the kind of technical mastery that gives elite strikers nightmares.
Good. Straight up the middle. Get out of there, lock on. Good elbow.
Dakota Ditcheva has built an empire on being unbeatable. 15 professional fights, 15 victories, 12 by knockout, 0 losses. The PFL champion with the $1 million prize, the perfect record, and the reputation as the most dangerous flyweight outside the UFC. But every empire has a weakness, and Alma Juniku might be the fighter who finally exposes Dakota's. This isn't another fantasy matchup between rising prospects. This is the collision that could redefine women's flyweight combat sports.
We're ready!
So long and rangy.
Oh, put away.
Oh!
Yeah.
And her opponent fighting out of the red corner. She's a muay specialist and stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. She weighed in officially at 126 pounds and holds a professional record of 5 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Manchester, England, Dakota Ditcheva.
Born in the unforgiving streets of Logan City, Brisbane to Albanian and Kosovar immigrant parents, Alma Juniku's origin story reads like a blueprint for creating fighters who refuse to break. While other 8-year-olds were playing with toys and watching cartoons, Alma was throwing devastating kicks and punches in a Muay Thai gym, absorbing techniques that would eventually make her one of the most feared strikers in women's combat sports. The early years weren't glamorous. Alma faced bullying at school for being a girl in a combat sport, mocked by classmates who couldn't understand why someone who looked like her would choose violence as a passion. But that ridicule didn't discourage her. It forged her. Every insult became fuel. Every doubt became motivation. And the gym became the place where she could prove everyone wrong through the only language that matters in combat sports: results. Her father initially disapproved, heartbroken that his children had abandoned soccer for fighting. But as Alma's accomplishments accumulated, understanding replaced disappointment. He recognized what she'd become: a weapon built through dedication and refined through competition against the best. By 18, Alma had already captured multiple championships that most fighters never achieve. The WMC Australian title, the WBC World title, the IPCC World title, all secured within months. This wasn't just talent or potential. This was a generational striker who understood distance, timing, and violence at levels that typically take decades to develop. When one championship came calling, Alma didn't ease into the promotion. Her debut came against Stamp Fairtex for the atomweight Muay Thai World title. First appearance, biggest stage, a legend across from her. Stamp's experience prevailed in a decision loss, but the performance proved something crucial. Alma wasn't overwhelmed. She belonged in that arena. Subsequent fights against Anissa Meksen and Janet Todd followed similar patterns. 3 decision losses to absolute legends didn't damage her credibility. They confirmed it. What makes Alma dangerous is simple: explosive speed, immaculate timing, and knockout power that doesn't need time.
Combination landed by Hogsted right there. Anytime she and then send Hogsted initiates. See that she's kind of just relying on the reaction time and that.
One step.
Front kick. Go back 3 paces. Here comes Juniku. The company from the Aussie there from Juniku. Galapsis wants to see more action, and Juniku.
Dakota Ditcheva's path was different. Born into a family where martial arts defined daily life, with a mother who was a multiple-time world kickboxing champion, Dakota inherited combat sports before she could walk. Her amateur Muay Thai career established the blueprint: gold at the 2016 IFMA World Championships, victories in Thailand against legitimate competition, a complete 8-point striking arsenal refined through tradition.
Very comfortable.
Switches back.
Job. Lovely combo.
That sounded sweet from here.
Cheek down the middle to the chest.
Break knees up the middle. Goodness me, some of those.
I think
She's in real.
The transition to MMA required evolution: wrestling, grappling, cagecraft. Dakota approached it intelligently, developing complete skills rather than rushing into professional fights with exploitable weaknesses. When she turned professional, the destruction was immediate. Fight after fight, finish after finish, 15 fights, 15 victories, 12 knockouts, PFL Europe Champion, 2024 PFL Women's Flyweight World Champion, $1 million. At 26, she rewrote history.
24 PFL season, Dakota Ditcheva still undefeated in the blue. Taila Santos, the one-time UFC title challenger, in the black.
Just moves forward.
Oh, kick to the face. Ditcheva showing off all the weapons and her considerable repertoire here. Deep for sure. Santos is in big trouble. She's in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again.
Dakota's weapon is systematic body destruction, not chaos. Precision, damage that drains lungs, compromises posture, and breaks resistance. Ask Taila Santos, a former UFC title challenger who'd never been finished until Dakota stopped her in round 2. The Santos victory crystallized everything. Elite UFC competition couldn't finish her. Dakota did. The MMA world recognized what had been building: a complete fighter whose striking translated perfectly to cage dominance. The PFL run showcased every dimension of Dakota's evolution. Legitimate strikers were dismantled. Elite grapplers couldn't impose their game. Dakota's striking is calculated aggression. 12 knockouts, 80% finishing rate. She doesn't survive to decisions. She ends fights. But here's the problem. Alma's credentials exceed Dakota's in pure striking. World Championship Muay Thai versus MMA Evolved Striking. Legends like Stamp Fairtex, Anissa Meksen, Janet Todd versus MMA level competition. Dakota has size, power, reach, MMA experience. But Alma's speed creates problems Dakota hasn't solved. Faster hands land first. First strike disrupts rhythm. Disrupted rhythm creates mistakes. The question isn't whether Alma can compete. The question is whether Dakota has faced anyone with this exact combination of speed, mastery, and finishing power. The honest answer is no. In MMA, Dakota likely wins. In pure striking, everything changes. Alma's speed becomes decisive. Her precision exposes gaps. Her experience prepares her for exactly this challenge. Hype creates blind spots. Sometimes one fighter has the tools to expose everything everyone else missed. Alma Juniku might be that fighter. Dakota met her match. Whether she proves otherwise or not, this is the matchup that forces the truth into the open. If this breakdown showed you why Alma is Dakota's most dangerous opponent, subscribe and hit notifications. We don't follow narratives, we break them.